Hello and welcome to this mid-year edition of Know Your Schools on WISD TV. My name is Dale Caffey. I am very pleased to be on the campus of Crestview Elementary today, where there has been a leadership change. Brandon Cope, who was principal here for the last couple of years, has moved to the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy to become the director of that program. And now we have Krystal Wilson as the interim principal. And Krystal, welcome to Know Your Schools.
Thank you.
The purpose of this program is to introduce you to the parents and to the community. So let's talk a little bit about the fact that you are now the interim principal at Crestview. But you are not unfamiliar with this school because you've served with Brandon Cope in your capacity as assistant principal. Talk a little bit about the last couple of years working with Brandon here at Crestview.
I've been at Crestview. This is my second year here at Crestview in the role of assistant principal working with Brandon. And so I feel very comfortable with the staff and the students here. So I've been able to meet a lot of needs, and I'm excited with this new opportunity.
Brandon is not far away though.
No.
And I suppose in the last couple of weeks as he's made his transition to his new job, that y'all have had several conversations. We
actually have. I believe we've talked multiple times, almost on a daily basis. I check in with him, and he may call me and check in with me. There's a lot of different things that we've had, kind of he was working on that I've been able to follow up on, and so he is always there, just a phone call away.
That was going to lead to my next question, is how has your role now changed from what you were doing to what you are now doing?
I've kept some of my same duties. I'm over several special programs, and so in order to be consistent and best meet the student needs, I've been able to keep those programs. I've also taken on some additional new duties that Brandon had originally been in charge of, and so I'm excited about learning those new skills and really being able to put my spin on it and making sure that we are really meeting the needs here at Crestview.
Wonderful. Let's talk about your background. You're no stranger to Waco ISD. You've been here for a number of years.
I've been here since 2002.
Great. Okay, that's about, what is that? Do the math. 13 years almost. Mm-hmm. Talk about those past 13 years and the places you've been and the people you served under.
Great. Like I said, this is my second year here at Crestview. Prior to that, I was an assistant principal under Alfredo Laredo at Waco High for 2 years there. Before that, I was able to work at the middle school setting as an instructional specialist, again under Alfredo. Prior to that, I actually was at elementary at Mountain View under Bill Shepard and at Bells Hill under Bevel Cone, teaching 3rd and 4th grade. So I've been able to see kids at the elementary, middle, and high school level, and each level has lots of different perks and challenges, but always something new and interesting to learn at each level.
You've also had the opportunity to learn under some very seasoned professionals. Mm-hmm. I mean, you mentioned Bevel Cone, who is the dean of principals here at Waco ISD, and Bill Shepard, who of course has been doing this for quite a number of years. Right. Talk about if you can reflect on it, and I know it's been a number of years ago since you served under those two leaders, but what that meant to you.
They're both great and fantastic in their leadership skills. They both have different personalities and styles, so it was really beneficial for me to see their two different ways of leading a campus. They know their stuff. They are well versed and know what needs to occur on the campus to make sure it runs smooth. They know their clientele, they know their kids, they know how to make impact. So very beneficial to work under all of the leaders that I've worked with.
Then you transitioned to the middle school environment and ultimately the high school environment for a number of years, although from what you told me, it sounds as if you spent most of that time in the elementary campuses. Yes. Well, let's talk about kids though. Kids are pretty much the same at all levels. Of course, the maturities are different, but talk about working at the elementary level, then getting that taste of middle school and high school.
Kids are kids, and they need help and guidance all the way through, whether it's an 18-year-old or an 8-year-old. They definitely need your assistance. Elementary, they have their different problems, different needs. Very entertaining. I love the honesty in elementary. They will tell you what they think, and they don't have that filter yet. And so those 4 and 5-year-olds tell you everything that you could ever want to know and then some. So it's very adventurous with the little ones. Middle school is a very interesting group of kiddos. I was fortunate enough, my elementary students that I taught in the classroom had moved up to the middle school level. So I got to see my 3rd and 4th graders as 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So it's really fun to watch that transition, especially with groups of kids that you know well, you know their families. So that's an added benefit that I got to see, not just middle school kids, but my old students and how they had grown to be those 6th and 7th graders, 8th graders. And then at the high school level, there's that fun high school drama. Who's asking who to prom, and are we going to graduate, and please, I wrecked my car, I don't know what to do, help me out here. So there's all different kinds of interesting scenarios at every level, but I mean, they're all kids and they still come to you for guidance, and they still need assistance in making great choices, and so it's always fun to be able to impact students.
Not to alienate or offend any one group, but which do you prefer to be around the most?
Honestly, I kid you not, it really depends on the day. First day of school, whenever you have the 4 and 5-year-olds and they're crying and they're upset, you don't have that problem at the high school. At the high school, first day of school, whenever everybody's schedules are crazy, you don't have that problem at the elementary school. So it really depends on the day. Every grade has their perks, but I really love this group. This is the group I've spent the longest with. They're a lot of fun. I love the honesty. I love really making sure that we're able to hit their areas of need, correcting their needs, making sure that they're identified for any additional assistance that they would qualify for, whether it's through dyslexia or special ed or whatever, and making sure they're on the path to success so that they can be successful all the way through high school.
Talk a little bit about Crestview. This is a wonderful school located right on New Road, a main thoroughfare of the city. So if you would just describe Crestview for us.
Okay, we have about 700 students here. About 95% low economic income group of kiddos. So we definitely know our clientele. We know there's about 200 kids here on campus that are ESL. So we make sure that we're training our teachers. We're making sure that they have the best instructional practices. We have our behavioral supports here. We have a lot of really proactive programs in place so that students are able to be successful, so we can meet all their needs and focus on academic, and then make sure that we have all these additional systems in place so that we are really educating the whole child here at Crestview.
Obviously, one of your jobs as assistant principal was the classroom visits, so you could see what the teachers were doing, make sure they were on task, and making sure those students were on task especially. Is that something you enjoy and still will do, obviously, as principal, is those, I guess we call them walkthroughs?
I really do enjoy the walkthroughs. The kids are so much fun. It's so much fun to go into the classroom and they are able to share their learning. I mean, they're excited about learning. They want you to know about it, especially if they're working on any specific project and they're like, oh, I did my report on this, and come look over here and check out what I've been able to do. So that is so much fun to walk in and watch them, whether it's the littles or the bigs here on campus. It's so much fun just to go in and engage and interact with those kiddos, and then really to see successful learning going on. I would love to spend all day, every day in there, to be honest. But yes, I try to get in there as much as possible, and I love to hear what's going on in the classrooms.
Speaking of projects, there are some on the tables behind us.
Yes.
And those are always so fun to look at, because that's the product of a child that our teachers are working with day in and day out. How excited do you get about just walking through a science fair type environment or a project environment?
This is actually our GT TPSP projects that we've just completed, and we've really grown that program. It's so much fun. We actually had the fair last night, so I would walk up and say, tell me about your project? Tell me what your research. And the kids, they go on and on and on. And, you know, you ask these questions and they go, well, I didn't think about that. I'm not really sure how to deal with that, but I'll get back to you. And so it's fun to really see what they've learned, and then these kids are so excited about, you know, doing additional research and finding information, and they want to report even more back to you. So you're like, oh, great. So they love to share, and I love to be able to hear them share. I mean, everybody wants to know you've done a good job on something you've worked hard on. So it's fun to have that interaction with those kiddos.
We recently had the elementary UIL meet,
Yes.
and I would imagine that Crestview had a contingent of students there.
We did.
And you're looking to grow that even larger?
We actually had a really great showing. We took over 60 students, so that was fun. Not identified as GT, just, you know, what area is of interest to you. And so we had a great showing. We're going to continue to push that. We have wonderful coaches here on campus for that program. We're actually doing our UIL awards party this Friday, so it's exciting to watch the kids and get them interested in some non-academic programming, but still, you know, it makes them feel good. It's that educating the whole child. So we enjoy the UIL competition.
We mentioned that your predecessor, Brandon Cope, now at the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy, something that he really looked at several years ago when there was an opening there. That opening became a reality again this year, and he took advantage of it. When he did that, how nervous or excited were you about the possibilities of being named the interim principal here? Because he was certainly behind you. When Dr. Kane was saying, well, okay, we want you at Guama, but who are we going to put at Crestview? It's my understanding that Mr. Cope said, Crestview's in great hands with Krystal Wilson. That had to make you feel good.
It does.
But did it make you feel nervous also?
Well, you know, it would be silly to say, oh yeah, I came in 100% confident knowing how to do everything. No. It makes you a little nervous to take on a new position. I definitely feel very well prepared under the leadership that I've had in the past. Brandon and I have worked together for 5 years at different campuses, so he and I are very much on the same page. There's not a lot of changes in store for Crestview. We wrote a lot of the policies and procedures and talked through the expectations and found out what works and what didn't work and what needed to be changed last year when we first both came over here together. So really making sure we had all those systems in place really helps out if there's any type of leadership transition. So I feel very comforted in knowing that Brandon is just a phone call away, but also knowing that, you know, he has such great faith in me and that we've built such a strong foundation here at the school. I feel like the transition is going to be very strong and be almost seamless. So hopefully that will really take place. So
Several items go into making a successful school. Obviously, a faculty. So we're going to have you talk about your faculty, the community partnerships, and of course, parents, a big key. Talk a little bit about those three pieces of the puzzle that make Crestview successful and can make it even better in the future.
Okay. Our faculty is amazing. They put forth so much energy and effort. We have tutoring going on. We have some that stay till 5:30 every day. They are here for the kids, and we have full open communication, so they definitely know, you know, what we need in the administrative office. We have great support through our instructional specialists. I couldn't speak higher of our faculty here. They are fantastic. Our adopted school partners are here. I've never seen a campus with more involvement. We have fantastic adopted school partners, and they are here and they support Crestview in either feeding our teachers or mentoring our students or making sure to celebrate with us. We have wonderful partnerships. And then, I'm sorry, what was the last one? Parents. Our parents are amazing. We had a wonderful turnout last night for our GT project fair. It's a smaller population of students, but we still had a wonderful turnout here in the library. It was full in the back over there. We have a new parent involvement specialist here on campus. She is working special programs. We've got an exercise class that meets. We've got a crochet class that meets. We've started GED and ESL courses here on campus in the evenings. So we are really pushing that component as well. We've got some more plans in the works for additional opportunities for parent involvement. But we have some really fantastic parents that are here to support their kids, and a lot of them are just like, just call me up whenever you need any assistance, and so we definitely take advantage of that. Newsletters and open communication with our parents, that's really key to making sure our students are successful.
Last question, and you're probably glad to hear that because you were nervous about this interview. I don't know why. You're a very good interviewee. But what makes, when the alarm clock goes off in the morning, obviously you have to go to work, you have to, earn a paycheck, but what really makes you tick as far as turning that alarm clock off and wanting to get to this school every morning?
Well, by nature, I am not a morning person, but I do love getting up each day, coming here. The kids are fantastic. I love what I do. I'm excited because I feel like what I do can make a difference. Every day is different and unique, and each and every day is a new day to make impact for kids. And so it's always exciting. If I had to get up every day and go and do paperwork from 8 to 5 and do the exact same thing, that would not be my cup of tea. So I love interacting with the kids. I love interacting with the teachers and the parents, and I mean, anybody that walks through our door. This is a very inviting campus. I love being able to share the knowledge that I've been given from leaders in the past, and just really making sure that students are set up for success, not just where they currently are in their school year, but for a lifelong learner.
Krystal, congratulations
Thank
once
you.
again, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank
We
you.
wish you the best of luck as you continue this school year.
Thank you so much.
Once again, this is Krystal Wilson. She is your new interim principal at Crestview Elementary. And thank you for joining us for Know Your Schools on WISD TV.